J. Anthony Brown is a comedian, actor, writer, and an entrepreneur. He sells laughter and hot sauce, peanuts and wine. It's hard to believe this outgoing guy suffers from stage fright. This is just one of the things I learned about James Anthony Brown when we went one-on-one.
J. Anthony Brown has done it all. Currently, he's Vinny on Tyler Perry's show Assisted Living on BET.
Oh, I hate Brown. Oh, I hate Brown. Oh, I hate it when he's around. 'Cause I hate Brown. Second verse.
But he's also hosted Comic View, performed on Def Comedy Jam, and was a regular on the Tom Joyner radio show for 20 years and has been on the Steve Harvey Show. He's won an NAACP Image Award and a Peabody Award. And none of this is what James Anthony Brown dreamed of doing while growing up in Columbia, South Carolina.
I went to trade school. But you know what? When I say I go to trade school, I never say it right away. I say I went to tailoring school in Denmark. And then there's a long pause.
Because they think,
over there, Denmark, South Carolina, but which is right up the street which is across the street from Voorhees. Yeah, and my daughter went to Voorhees, and I went there. It was a 2-year course for tailoring, and it was weird. I wasn't almost a tailor. When I was in high school, I wanted to take home ec to learn how to sew, and I had a teacher tell me. She said, you cannot take home ec because we don't have any boys sewing machines. We only have girls sewing machines.
what's the difference?
Oh, there is no difference. There's no such thing. It doesn't exist. So I brushed it off. In my senior year, I go to buy my own sewing machine. And I go in the store and I said, can you give me a man's sewing machine? And the dude was like, what are you talking about? I said, I know there's a lady sewing machine. I don't want that one. I want the male sewing machine. He said, there's only one type of sewing machine. I bought an $18 sewing machine and I started sewing, and then I went to Denmark Tech. But it's amazing how teachers who don't see what you see in yourself will discourage you. And that teacher told me that, and I went to school, and the rest is history because I was a tailor.
But why sewing? Who in your family?
Nobody knew how to sew. My mother, I tell you what, my grandmother could sew. My grandmother made seat covers for all of her furniture by hand. She didn't have a sewing machine. She covered up, and you couldn't go in that room.
That's right.
That room was off limits. You could not go in there, and she made seat covers, and I guess that's probably where I got it from.
So you plan to be a tailor?
No, a designer. I wanted to be a designer.
Okay, so I'm going to come back to this,
Mm-hmm.
but I went online and I saw J. Anthony Brown suits
Yes.
for sale.
I had a suit line. Yes, I had my own suit line for a while. It's very complicated because what happens with a suit line is sometimes you'll have something made in a sample, and then you'll give it to your representative, and then they'll make a bunch of them, and that's not what you design. Unless you have full control over, I made this, I want the rest of them to look like this, that could be a problem. So if you're gonna make something, and then they're gonna knock it off and make it cheaper and make it doesn't look like what, that was the problem, so.
Well, I even saw your stuff on all kind of sites.
Oh yeah, there's still some suits out there somewhere. Every now and then I'll meet a person with a J. Anthony Brown suit on. with the 18 buttons, Yeah, that's my suit. Yeah, it's 18 buttons. Yeah, okay.
J. Anthony took a bus from Columbia, South Carolina to come to a tailoring school in Atlanta.
So I go and I'm accepted to go to school, and the first day I go to class to sign up, and my grant is short $317. It's short $317. So I'm thinking I can start school. And they said, well, you can't start unless your first semester is completely paid for. I said, well, I'll get a job. Just let me start it. I'll get a job. So you cannot start till the first semester is paid for. And so I'm like, I'm gonna go somewhere, I'm not going back to Columbia, South Carolina.
What?
I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm not. It's just not gonna happen.
J. Anthony lived in the YMCA while looking for work.
Somebody said, well, there's a place called Underground Atlanta, which Underground Atlanta was happening. And I get a job bussing tables. And he said, you can start, and this is the most amazing thing for me. He said, before you start work, you can eat whatever you want out of the kitchen. I'm like, I don't even know how much I made. I could care less. I could eat. He said, and whatever's left over, you can take it home. I'm like, for real? That was a dream job. So I get that job. Then I get a job at Henry's Tailor, which is on Market Street. And then I get a job at Ernie's and Son as a tailor. And then my next big move was Mr. V's. Mr. V's had a gong show. And I go to the gong show. I didn't get gong. You know why? I wasn't.
Why didn't you get gong?
I wasn't up there long enough. So I did one joke, got a laugh, and I got off the stage. And Mr. V said, well, I need somebody to MC my show. I said, well, you got a guy. He said, don't worry about him. I want you. And he gave me a job. And that, in terms of comedy, it changed my life because I could perform there every Monday night. Every Monday night, I could do fake news, I could do song parodies, I could do costumes, whatever. And then the Punchline opened up, which was a real comedy club. And then, I moved to LA.
So what makes good comedy, J. Anthony?
He gonna have me in jail.
Mr. Vinny.
I'm gonna do like the young people. If you feel like you want this smoke, I'm hard. Come on with it then.
Okay, well, I will. Come on with it then.
I'm hard. You ain't harder than me.
Yeah, I'm harder.
If you feel like you want some of this smoke,
yeah, I feel like I want some of it. I'm feeling myself, and I'm saying I
you
want
can
it.
feel yourself more than I can feel.
That's what I want. I want it all. Connecting with the audience. George Carlin had this saying, basically, and George and Myra and all of us, we do what is called ooh yeah, where a comedian can say something and the audience can relate and go, ooh yeah, I know what that is. I know. George Carlin was instrumental in changing the word hot water tank. A hot water tank, hot water don't need heating. It's already hot water. And he changed the phrase to water tank. So it's just relating to the audience about what you've been through and what you've done so you can get the audience to go, oh yeah, we were talking in the dressing room that once you reach a certain age, I can't tell how many times I bought the same thing 3 times.
I can relate.
I got 17 10-foot phone cords at the house, So and everybody can relate to that. George and I and Myra J were talking today. How many times you rented a car that you don't know how to put the gas in the car? You don't know where the gas goes. How many times have you rented a car when you go to the wrong car? You're like, I'm trying to open, why is this car not opening? Because it's not yours.
So is there anything that you won't make fun of? Anything you won't make a joke about?
Large people coming in the audience, I will not. And people getting up and going to the restroom, I won't make fun of. No. But if you're large and you're late, that's a gift from God.
Ooh.
If you're large and late and you sit up front, it's what we call the comedy God has smiled. The comedy God has smiled upon you to send you this nugget of comedy. That thank you, Jesus.
J. Anthony often performs with comedians Myra J. and George Wallace. George and J. Anthony tell jokes about each other's mother. But there is one thing J. Anthony does not joke about.
But when you do these acts on the road together, you tell me you are the one who has nerves about
No,
it.
it's not nerves. It's stage fright.
Oh, come on, J. Anthony.
It's the worst. It's the worst. I have the worst. And I've seen people I knew Carole King had stage fright. Julie Garland had stage fright. Mine would be equal to that. Yeah, I do not want to go out there. And George and Myra are sitting back, eating, cussing me, telling me to sit down. And shut up, and it's the worst. And it's always been like that.
So how do you really sensibly get yourself to the place where you can walk on the stage? What do you do?
It's a lot of pacing around.
A little Jack Daniels?
No drinking. No, I can't. I have a hard enough time remembering this stuff as it is. Don't let me go out there drunk. No, I can't drink. I can't eat. I'm walking back and forth, and then I can go out there and I can do an hour. I can have the best time ever.
Jay Anthony is known for his parody of songs. It's called Murdering the Hits. He says singer Keith Sweat is the only celebrity who ever complained.
Do you hear from the people
The only
you do
person
about?
that ever get mad at me and like approach me where, he didn't like it was Keith Sweat. Because we did, I've always had this thing in my head that Keith Sweat sounds like a bee. She's winning in, I wanna know. And it's like, that's a bee. Yeah.
And he didn't like it.
No, he didn't like it. And he talked, if you ever met Keith Sweat?
Yes.
He talks in the third person.
Yes.
He said, Keith Sweat don't like that. I'm looking around. Who the hell you talking? Yeah, he calls himself the sweater. He said the sweater don't like. I'm like, what's he?
And he's the only one.
He's the only one.
Can anybody hurt your feelings?
Oh yeah. I've never said this before. When I left the Tom Joyner show, what I wanted was my own show. After 20 years, I had been there. And we were going back and forth, in terms of you're not gonna get your own show, it's the best thing for you. And he said to me, and like I said, I've never said this to anybody, he said, you're not gonna get your own show. And all you are to this show is a high price sidekick. And, I have no ill feelings toward Tom because it wasn't all his decision that I didn't get my own show. But I felt after 20 years of sitting there and being the sidekick that I should have gotten the show. And the fact that I didn't, I wasn't going to.
Yeah, but it hurt someone who was your friend to say.
Yeah.
But you're a forgiving person. Uh-oh.
We'll be right back after these messages.
It was a message from Tyler Perry that moved J. Anthony Brown to tears. After 3 seasons on the show Assisted Living,
Well, I guess I was wrong.
Yeah, and I was wrong about you being ugly.
Well, you a liar. Ain't nobody ugly up in here.
Was it the devil is a liar?
Have you seen you?
Beat you to it, huh?
J. Anthony got COVID and couldn't work season 4.
Mr. Perry called me up and said, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And I never said this. I've never said this to anybody. He told me, don't worry about it. You just get well and come back. Because television, you can get replaced. There's numerous stories of people, you go upstairs and you never come down the steps. And that's the end of your career. He didn't do that to me. And I was crying. He called me up. He said, don't worry about it. We got you.
Tyler Perry's show Assisted Living on BET is entering its 7th season. J. Anthony loves being on the show playing Vinny and working with David Mann, who is Leroy Brown.
How much of that character is really J. Anthony?
I think Vinny is me. Vinny is me. Vinny is very outspoken. I've never been in a place where I could talk about a derivative of a character that I play. He's a sharp dresser. We don't know, Vinny's never had a girlfriend, but he talks about women all the time.
Clown, and I don't know you.
I'm calling you a clown.
You don't call me, I don't know you like that. You don't call me no clown. Who you calling a clown? Who are you?
You don't remember me?
Yes, I remember you. You the devil.
And him and Brown, I'm Brown, Mr. Brown's antagonist. So, and we go at it. And if I see Mr. Brown with something on, my mind just starts writing jokes.
What surgery got approved?
No, that suitcase means you'll be leaving town for good like I've been praying, right?
Wrong. This suitcase means that my place is being renovated and I'm gonna have to stay the night here at Pleasant Day.
Damn, Brown, you like old curly, nasty hair stuck on a bar of soap. No matter how hard I try, I just can't get rid of you, man. So one day he comes down and he's got on a cow shirt, like cowhide shirt, and cowhide pants, and like cowhide socks. And so he's going back and forth. I said, if you don't shut up, I'm gonna take you in the back room and milk your ass.
So,
and it's back and forth.
so everything you all do is really ad lib.
Not all of it. No, there's a script.
There is a script.
There's a script.
But you're allowed to.
But you're allowed to ad lib a lot.
And that's why it's so natural.
Yeah, it's fun. It is so much fun.
First given unto the first lady, the bishop, deacons, deaconess, elders, ushers, motherboard, and the janitors, and the one heathen that we have in the room. God loves all of his creatures.
Takes one to know one.
J. Anthony Brown has a lot on his plate besides his comedy. One of his side hustles is his hot sauce business that now has expanded to include spicy peanuts and mofo wine. He has 5 hot sauces: peach and pepper, cayenne, habanero, garlic, and hotter than a mofo.
So, J. Anthony, why do you have all of these different businesses? Where did that come from?
Because I heard somebody say you should be invested in something that allows you to make money when you sleep. And that, boom.
So what is left for J. Anthony Brown to do? I mean, you've done television, you've done movies, you do great stand-up, you've got your own businesses. What is it left for you to reach for?
I'm doing my own album, and I want the world to see my art. I really want people to see me, which is, I've always been so protective of showing my art. I would not show it to people.
But now?
Now I must have 3,000 to 4,000 pieces of art that I've drawn. It more than that, probably. It's everywhere.
Thanks for watching. If you want to see more of Monica Pearson One-on-One, check out the links on your screen and click the subscribe button.